Medical units, stand by. 30 seconds to contact. 20 seconds. 15. 10. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1.
We got him. Let's go.
Good morning. This is your episode of Morning Inc. that I've been starting. We had an episode Monday, skipped out yesterday, didn't have time, got up too late, but here we are back on Wednesday. I'm going to be trying to do these as often as I can. I know I will not be doing them every morning. It's just too constraining to have it every single day. Sometimes you need a day off. Sometimes you have errands to run, and sometimes you just want to draw without streaming everything to the world. But I like to connect. I like to have the discipline of like being on stream and showing up to the art table, and it's kind of a motivation in the sense that people watching kind of hold you accountable to being there and producing, and increasing the output is a goal I want to do this year too. I know we're halfway through the year now, but it's okay. You know, you can do half-year goals too. Why not? Adam Weber has said hi in the chat. Well, he said hi. He propped up the Canadian flag in the commando tradition. I salute you, good sir. I don't know how you do it, how you're always in the chat. Number one, a lot of times it's got to be a superpower. Happy to see you, man. It's good. I bring these streams up without planning, without, announcing them or anything. This is almost a beta test. I'm going to be channeling my inner Bob Ross and be finishing up this piece here today. And hopefully you get some enjoyment out of it. If we have people in the chat come up, ask questions, we'll do that. And if somebody wants to pop on, maybe we'll drop the link a little bit later. But for now, let's just get to drawing, shall we? I'm going to bring up a little bit of background music just to have something playing, because this can get a little bit quiet sometimes. I figured out a way to be able to have a playlist working. I figured it out halfway through, so it's not all ready to go. Here we go. It's not all ready to go yet, but soon enough, we're going to increase the production value of these streams. I'm drinking a sip of coffee here. Yeah, I'll be able to have a playlist playing on the computer and channel it through the same audio that the mic is coming through. So it's going to be able allow me to have music through StreamYards as well, which hopefully is going to make for a more entertaining stream. I'm looking for my pencil sharpener, and the cat's there, so I'm always wondering if the cat is hiding it. Oh, yes, indeed she is. There we go. It's a bit quiet. This is Tundra. I think it's from Fallout. Let's try something. These are gaming tunes. Apparently they don't get struck. So, but they're a little bit, how do you say it? Maybe something more upbeat. How about Diablo? Full Metal Alchemist. That sounds good. Let's do this until we get the full audio stream set up. This will be the way we do it. I've been working on an intro. I don't know how long it's going to take. I got a nice intro song. Actually got a choice of them, and I'll be able to pick out one real good one from those. And I got a title card. So starting up, that's how you start these things, man. You start up, it's just, you got one viewer, and these are the early days. Then you get going, and you know, it gets bigger and bigger every day. I'm streaming on Kick this morning. I started that last night on Katie's CG After Dark. She got kicked off of YouTube. Huge controversy, huge story with Liam Gray. Been flagging channels like crazy. You most likely have heard about that, unless you've been living under a rock, which I don't blame you. Gives you a lot of peace of mind. And so Katie could not stream on her own channel. So I hope Dawn, as I always do, I'm regular on that show, and allowed me to restream it on YouTube and tried out Kick yesterday. So I don't know a whole lot about Kick. I hear good things. It's a streaming infrastructure, streaming site, kind of like Twitch, but Twitch has really bad reputation for flagging as well. Like, you are limited with the type of stuff you can say. Kick sounds like they got a better offer, so we'll try it out, see where that goes, see where that leads us. Because if I start streaming regularly, you want to get these out to new people as well. Like, I really appreciate streaming to our beloved community. Yep, same here, Adam. I got the message. They did not even name the channel. I got a message, and the channel name did not pipe through. Like, it was a former message. You could tell where they were supposed to insert the channel name, but it wasn't there. She lost a lot of money, and you know, as Klippa says, don't fuck with the money. Because attacking people's revenue streams, attacking people's income, is the equivalent of trying to kill them in a smaller way, bit by bit. But you are taking the time that they put in to earn this money, the effort it takes to build up a channel, to come on streams and give people a good show, and that money that you receive that was sent by backers, by viewers who support her, it just got taken over by YouTube. It's not going to be delivered because of a complaint by a man, baby. There we go. I mean, it's just infuriating. Like, he not only can he not take criticism, can't take his own clips being put out there, and we've seen it with Liam. I've been watching everybody else talk about Liam for for months and months. I haven't been around that much. Like, I can't say years and years. You know, when Ethan kind of talked about Dino King and how good it was, I think that's when I started being aware of more who Liam is. And kudos to him for doing a book that got a lot of attention. But it seems he's quite the character. Got into a lot of trouble with other communities in the past, it seems. I'm just learning here, so forgive me if I don't have... This is not a Liam show. I did not prepare for this, but... yeah. And he's been throwing a lot of... saying a lot of things. Got a lot of people upset. And when you make stories up, you get upset when people call you out. We had a clip last night of Anna, Anna, that Star Wars girl, explaining her situation and how she, simply asked Liam for receipts. And he got big mad. So, I don't know what that means. Maybe I do. I've always kind of steered clear of this. Obviously, when it blows up and it's a topic of conversation everywhere, drama finds you sooner or later. You can try to avoid it. So on my channel, I focus more on the process. Same with the Commandos. We'll address drama when it's relevant and when it's time to say something to the community, to take a position, to, because we are building culture here. I mean, this is why we got into this. We are tired of seeing just corporation feed us absolute slop, lowered the quality of the books that we grew up loving, reading, following. And I think at some point we became disillusioned with the way things were turning, especially these characters we grew to love, and we saw how some of the creators were absolutely careless with them, or worse than careless sometimes, actively weaponizing these characters we love to propagandize us. And in some ways things seem to be getting better lately, but not by a mile, not by a long shot. We still have to stand up and make our own culture. I think this is what this is all about. I've always loved comics. I've always wanted to work in this medium. When I was growing up, my dream was Marvel or DC, working as a penciler for Marvel or DC. I could not make it happen in my 20s, and debt started piling up and being crippling, and to switch to doing web programming, which was less work and more pay. And it's fine for a while. You're happy to get out of this situation, especially a situation of debt, a situation of being dependent on other people in your life. That's not a good feeling. Never. Oh, hey, we got Subjugate in the chat. How you doing, man? Good morning. That's right, Freddie G in the morning. Yeah, I'll be doing these more frequently if I can succeed in getting up out of bed, which I did this morning, thank goodness. It's trash day. Had to force myself out of bed to put the trash out, because I can't put the trash out the night before because we have a slasher on our street that likes to go through people's trash to see what's in them, if he can find anything of value. And I caught him one time. He's an immigrant from Morocco. And he just slashes open your trash bag, empties them out on the curb, and you wake up to seeing all your stuff, right? All your trash laid out for people to see, and you gotta go out with gloves and trash bags and put that all into another trash bag for the next trash day. And so can't be doing that again. Yeah, the Liam stuff is ridiculous. This is blowing up. And yeah, these types of stories are going to change people's behavior. We're seeing it with quartering on a larger scale. Quartering, I think, reaches more people. More people know of him. He really was able to game the YouTube algorithm for the longest time. So a lot of people know Jeremy, or have seen him or know of him. Whereas Liam, he's kind of in our space. But they're exhibiting the same behavior, not being able to tolerate being made fun of, which, you know, I can sympathize with that. No one wants to be made fun of. But you got to understand the game. You got to understand where you're at. You got to understand the Streisand effect. If you get upset, if you get mad, if you sit on your high horse of authority, you're talking to almost infinite people on the internet. Even though you're not addressing them at the same time, your message is still out there for anyone to learn about it. And if you make a big stink, more people will hear about it. And people do not like censorship, and they don't like injustice. And if you can give them a way to make it known easily without too much effort, people will do that. Subjugate says, we got a few of those in my neighborhood too, the usual suspects. Yeah, dude, you're also Canadian, right? Yeah, I caught him. He was walking around with a baby carriage. No baby, just the trash. And I decided to approach him and talk to him. And he started answering my questions. And he said something ridiculous like, oh, which building is yours? Which door is yours? I'll make sure not to open that trash. I'm like, dude, don't do it for any of it. And you know the cops won't, you know where that goes. If you call the cops for something like that, what are they going to do, right? So that's the state of the world we're in right now. But, can't complain too much. I'm here this morning with you guys making comics. So how cool is that? So, I think we're privileged to be able to tell stories and build culture like this. To have people tune in, so grateful for you guys. Every time I do a stream, got a show on Tuesdays, you guys show up. It's the greatest thing in the world, man. Hang out with your friends, talk to new creators, learn about their techniques, their methods. We had John Apple last night talking about inking. John's such a cool dude, man. Got some good tips on new pens to try out. Grabbies, they're called. So order those off of Amazon. Stay tuned to get my opinion on those. I'm looking forward to it. They're white pens to be able to fix the inevitable mistakes that happen when you're inking. We'll call them mistakes, but lines go over a little bit here and there, and you kind of have to when you're trying to get a movement, because inking is very much the momentum and speed is important when you're inking. And you gotta, sometimes when you're got good momentum and good speed, you're gonna go over the line of another form, another shape, and you gotta go in and fix it. Sometimes when you're doing cross hatching and stuff like that, it goes over and it kind of looks cool. Like, okay, I'm gonna leave that. Certain mistakes actually show how hand drawn something is, and it's just a nice artifact of drawing by hand. Sometimes you want to clean it up. Sometimes you don't want them there. So you need whiteout because we're not working digitally. digital, you can infinite undo, which is both a curse and a blessing. Obviously, you can rework it until you're satisfied. But then it's a curse because you can rework it until you're satisfied. There's no way out. And the infinite zoom paradox where you just zoom in too much, spend a lot of time. But I'm not digging. I don't want to hate on digital. I think it's great that you have the option. I grew up learning how to draw. I call it analog, for lack of a better term. But the main reason I'm doing it on Pages is I like to get away from the computer. I'm on it all the time. We're on it for YouTube. We're on it for Twitter and communications. So it's nice to be just on the art table with a tactile board that you can run your fingers across. It's got a noise, it's got a sound, it's got a texture. And it's got its constraints. Art works really well with constraints. We got Billy in the house. How you doing, Billy? Nice to see you, man. I would like to have you on next week if you're free. We're going to be looking at Dune. So James is going to be doing a review of the Dune comic, and he's been comparing the book, so comparing the audiobook to the comic, the book to the comic, and all that. And Billy just finished reading Dune. He wasn't too happy with it, though. So it'd be funny for you to come on and give your 2 cents worth as we review the Dune comic. That'd be cool. Adam says, happy accidents. Right, exactly. Sometimes you run with it. Sometimes you fix it. It's freaking magical. All right, I think the hair's looking good. I'm really close to done, which a lot of times means there's still stuff to do on it. Theoretically done and practically done are two different things. That's when I start scanning the page. Okay, what can be improved? What's left over? How can I make this better? One of the things with the whiteout as well is you can do these white lines, especially over the speed lines, like over the cloud like this. Like I can add the speed lines to the clouds. This is already done here. All right, this is looking almost done. Am I going to start another piece? Question mark? Because I've had another piece in mind. Something with my own character, Rattel. Yeah, this is looking really close to done. Scanning it. Oh, yeah. Okay, I see something. Let me break out my Cyberfrog comic here as a reference for Heather. Billy says, it was the third part that really annoyed me with the plot. Okay, yeah, sure. It'd be a shame if you gave up on the series for that, though. It's such a good series after the fact. But, you know, I'm not going to tell you to keep going if you're not into it. But give it another shot for the Children of Dune. It gets really good. Also, we need to start sketching the pose for the commission, as it's looking like the Stream Machine is going to be out of my price range. Dude, I'd be happy to do a commission. We've been talking about it off and on for about a year, I think. Working on a commission for Wrangler. Right at the moment, we got this piece here from his book, which is called the Wavelength, is the name of the ship. Ship was already designed, but just in top top view, front view, back view, and kind of translated that into a sketch here of it in action. And you got two hot babes that you want to in your commission as well, so it's going to be a lot of fun. I know Corey Barton's going to be happy to tune in, see those. Got Cyber Frog here, book 1. Because it's just for a detail. I'm looking at a Heather's necklace on here. This book looks really cool. The amount of detail. It's just, yeah, this is a man who knows his craft. And not just that, he is also putting in the work for it to give you something quality. All right, this is the necklace. Is she on string? Yeah, you can see. Okay. All right. So, well, it's too small to see on screen, but these are mostly little, like, pearls. Something like this. Like, this should do it. So, minute details. You got to focus on the details, because God is in the details, as Trump says. Grew up hearing the other version, the devil's in the details, but that one works too. All right, I think this is it. The reflection is on all the ball joints, on fingers, the arms, everything's complete. I think there's, see a little bit of line here I can fix. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is complete. I'm calling this one done. I can't stop. It's like I'm addicted. I'm gonna do other lines on the branches here. Yeah, this one I'm gonna be calling done. And we're gonna start a new piece. How's that sound? I got a piece in mind I want to do. This one, I have somebody interested in this, so I will DM them today and get it out to them real soon. Is the price? Yeah, the prices are not out on the Steam machine yet, though. Yeah, it was 2 or 3, depending on if we're wanting to do it. Yeah, dude, that's not a problem with me. It's whatever you have in mind. We'll work with that. Let's break out a new piece of paper. We're going to be sketching out a brand new drawing today. How does that sound? I've been wanting to do a piece of... No, kitty cat, do not walk on the keyboard. Thank you very much. Okay, so I want to do a dynamic piece with Rattel and a new character that I call the Goat. It's kind of spelled G047. He's one of the baddies that's going to be in the second book, and I haven't really drawn him yet. I know what he's supposed to look like, but I mean, I've sketched him a little bit last year, and I knew he was going to come up. I thought he might make an appearance in the first book. I was like, okay, let me put him in the background somewhere. But it did not end up happening with the space and the way the scenes were put together. And I'm doing something different today as well. Because usually I'll do thumbnails, right? That's kind of how you learn to draw is just, okay, you got your idea and you put the thumbnails down, especially if I'm working with somebody for a commission. I'll do like maybe 4 to 6 very small, very like insect legs kind of thumbnail drawings, like you can barely see what's happening. But yeah. Today I want to try something different. I've been hearing our other artists have a method of just going straight to the page and capturing the energy of the piece. And I don't know if this sounds out there and woo-woo to some of you, but as an artist, the energy is really important. Dynamism of your characters and the composition. Call it energy, because it's like you're putting the emotion, the drive when you're making the drawing, and the viewer will get that energy coming out of the lines and all that. Billy says, not out, but the Steam Deck is at $900+, so it doesn't look good for this. Dude, it's at $950. It went up $300 American, which as a Canadian is mind-blowing because it's like $400. Dude, I bought a Steam Deck last year. And I was like, okay, I got to spend a little Bitcoin to get a Steam Deck, but I hadn't had a gaming system for about 30 years, right? Except playing like emulators on my laptops, which doesn't really count. I buy the Steam Deck, and now a year and a half later, it's up in value with $400 Canadian. Dude, it's a bigger increase than Bitcoin has been in the past year, because we're kind of on a downturn there. Dave Brink is in the house. Hey, Dave, we were just talking about you yesterday with John Apple, talking inking, and we were talking about Perfect 10. Looking forward to that one, man. I was looking at his campaign for a couple of years. Dave has been in it for the long haul. He's an old timer in this space, and I think 6 years or more. Got 6 issues. And it's like, oh, I want this. And usually, I especially as a Canadian, you're like, okay, I gotta pay for the shipping. I gotta, just difference in cost and all that with the Canadian dollars. So usually I get 2 books or 3 books at one go. And now he's at the point where he's finished the 6-issue series and he's got his 6 books coming out in one volume. And I picked that one up and I can't wait to get it. Power Rodriguez is an incredible artist with a really strong style, elegant style. So that's going to be powerful. Okay, I got to stop talking and just start drawing, right? These people are watching me and they're like, well, is he going to shut up? Is he going to draw at some point? He's talking about drawing. He's not drawing. So I'm probably going to erase this a couple of times. So I'm warming up. I want to make sure. I like to erase when I'm sketching because it's way less costly than erasing when you're doing the details. That's why I never hesitate. Erase early, erase often. Just make sure you're satisfied with what you got. Because at some point, I got this evil baddie that I'm calling Goat. It's kind of like coming in the background, raising. And he's a threat looming over our character, who's kind of in the foreground. And he's surfing on his hoverboard. So we got the hoverboard over here, and he's got to be tightly hunched over in position of of surfing position. Try to have one hand back and one hand forward, like this. He's got two heads. Get that one out of the way. And maybe he's got his other leg here in the back. Okay, we've got the shape of the muscles on the leg. And, okay, so, wow, this is going to be really close to the bottom of the page here. Wow, I'm just realizing I haven't drawn Ratel in a minute. Okay, this looks, I kind of like it. This actually looks pretty good. I'm gonna have some foreshortening with this character here, and he's gonna be having some speed lines in the back. And maybe I'm gonna draw the city in the background. Maybe it's gonna be a bridge. Okay, I think I got something here. Billy says, I expect it's going to be $1,000, $1,100 for the, whoa, for the 500 gigabyte version. You think it's going to be that much more than the Steam Deck though? Because the Steam Deck has the screen, it has the controller. Is the Steam Machine going to include the controller? Probably not, right? You don't have a screen, you don't have a controller, you're just buying the box. So is that going to be that much more? I want to get one, but I don't know how desperately I want to get one. Dave says, thanks for the support, Frederick. Dude, you've earned it. Like, I never, you know, I never say things I don't believe about a book, about a project. You know, I try to say supportive things, but I also want to make sure that I'm saying things that I believe, because there's the responsibility to the people who are buying us, watching us, sorry. And, you know, people are looking to invest and get books, and it's a risky business as a consumer out there, because, you know, it takes a lot of time. Sometimes projects don't come through. It takes a lot of time to get your books when you're ordering. Some books are late multiple years, and not everybody has money to throw out the window. We believe in somebody's project. We want to support it. But no, dude, like, I don't give out compliments or fake praise at all lightly. I want to make sure that we're building a reputation of, you know, at least presenting stuff and creators and books and projects to people that and communicating the best we can what they've got, what we think of it. I'm just rambling here, which I guess is my right on my stream. But let me try to get some coherent thoughts in there as well. All right, I'm liking the arm. That's kind of cool. Complimenting my own drawings is not fantastic. But it's okay to do that. Sometimes you can remark, oh, that one turned out well, because they don't always on the first try. So arms were the first thing, one of the first things I learned to draw in anatomy, because they're always on like that, and the face, right? The face is the very first thing you learn to draw, because it's always in panel. Interesting pose sketch already. Well, thank you, man. Thank you. Trying to get it dynamic. I've been focusing a lot on leveling up. I'm between book 1 and book 2. And, you know, you finish book 1 and it's drawn over a year, so naturally the first pages you warm up and you get better. And so when you're getting ready to start book 2, you want to throw yourself a challenge. You're like, okay, I want people to see the progress. I want people to be able to notice the improvement, and just because art's very important. As an artist myself, it's why we buy the books and put a lot of effort in the story too, with Billy Bob being one of my beta readers. Steam Machine has way more RAM than the Steam Deck, and SSD price are insane. Right, both RAM and SSD went up crazy due to the AI apocalypse. Hopefully, well, they can make more RAM if they if they create more production lines, which they can do as an investment. The thing is, they got to know that they're going to be able to sell them, because if this bubble bursts like the .com, like many other bubbles, if they start to ramp up production on RAM and then it bursts, they're left holding the bag because their new RAMs are worthless. They invested in new new factories, so it's a huge risk to ramp up production. And right now, well, they're making a lot of profit, so Ramageddon has fucked my prospects of having a gaming I hear you, man. I hear you. Yeah, I've been wanting to upgrade my computer for a long time too. We've talked about it. I'm patient. My computer's actually working decently right now. I had overheating issues, but I solved it by putting a freaking ice pack under it. I have a nice flat ice pack that's the size of the machine, which has been keeping it from overheating during streams, which I'm happy to have found that solution. But I do want to upgrade. I can't do much video editing. I can do a little bit like intros and things like. I'd like to do videos on my channel at some point, but don't have a whole lot of disk space. I often have to delete stuff when I'm doing a video, and that's when it starts to overheat. Like I can't even stream while I'm coloring, because the application to color running at the same time as StreamYards is just too much. So that's why I just do the art streams on the art table here. All right. This feels like an old school Spider-Man cover, man. Which is exactly what I'm going for. Rattel, when I came up with the idea what type of comic I was going to do, Spider-Man was kind of at the forefront. I really enjoyed that book growing up, and it's a fun one to draw because the character is so interesting, visually speaking. Like he can contort in multiple different ways. And as an artist, when you're going to be working on a book for more than a year, you got to ask yourself, what do I want to be drawing for a year, right? Because it's one thing to do a pinup. You're like, okay, what do I want to draw today or the next few days? But when you're working on a book, you're going to be drawing it maybe over a year if you're an indie creator, because you're working on commissions, you got other stuff to take care of. So when you're working on a project for a long time like this, you want to think carefully about what you're going to be drawing for all that time, right? So I wasn't about to do like a story about accountants. It's fine if there's a scene or page or two, but you want these things to be exciting. And superheroes, not that they're my favorite book necessarily, but it is something that I really do enjoy to draw. And Rattel is kind of like Spider-Man in the sense that he can fight supervillains amongst the skyscrapers right across the city. And this is what we have here today with the Big Betty. Kind of here. This goat guy's got horns, of course. And he has an exosuit, so it's not a biological or superpower that comes from your typical Marvel exposure to nuclear waste or anything. We're talking mechanically enhanced, technologically enhanced. Which, I mean, Marvel has its fair share of that too. Is the arm inside the page enough? You don't want to have his hand cut off. There's a couple of things you don't want to cut off right at the edge. So I'm going to have to think about the arm placement here. Do like our hero, the way he's positioned so far. That kind of works for me. Billy says, yeah, I was wanting to do some chill game. Oh, dude, that's right. You've been talking about that too. Got to get back to streaming a little bit. Guess you've been busy with the house and stuff and work. Rattel is the French Spider-Man. I mean, Spider-Man's the French Spider-Man. You're not too far. I mean, even in the humor, there's a lot of like Peter Parker-esque humor with the character. It has come out as a good complaint from one of my readers. So, yeah, I guess so. I guess it is part of the DNA of the character. I see a lot of Batman too, but Batman doesn't really have the humor. Batman's got other features that come up with in Rattel. Hail Apex, nice to see you, man. It's always cool to see you. Wrangler, how you doing, my man? How's everything going? Hope you're having a good day. Hope things are good at work. We have like yesterday and today are the first days of that feels like summer here in Quebec. We've had a terrible month of May, and to have sunshine, it feels like summer's finally starting. I have the perfect joke villain for your comic. Oh no. Oh no, what are you gonna come up with now? I'm already on my guard. What is he have in mind? Yes, exactly. Rattel is the Bitcoin Batman, very much so. He's DIY instead of like having a corporate infrastructure that builds the actual weapons and vehicles. And he's kind of like building them himself. He's got the spirit of a DIY. I mean, he's a hacker, right? Like or a computer whiz is what hacker really means, but the term has been co-opted by the news media to mean a criminal who uses a computer. But hacker, I don't know if you guys know this, but a hacker is actually a term that comes from writers. So hacking means basically going at a keyboard and striking the keys, hacking at the keys. And it translated over from writers, from authors, over to programmers when they were typing furiously at their keyboards, doing code instead of writing books. The term transferred over from hacking, because you're hacking at the keys. And so they called themselves hackers. And then when it started to make news that some hackers were doing criminal activity, the news media would call them hackers, and people had never heard the term because it was kind of a term that was for that niche. And so if you weren't in the niche, you never heard the word. And people began to associate hacking, to criminal activity. And it's one of those things where the definition of words change depending on how we use them. And I still use hacker and hacking without the negative connotation. But from time to time, I'm reminded that not everyone understands the real meaning or the initial meaning of that word. This has been your educational capsule of the day. Billy says, the data dominatrix. Her clothes are just strings of code. Well, funny you should say that, because that's a good play on the letter D, and good alliteration. And anything with an X in it sounds cool. There is an AI character that I call Amelie, and it's an acronym for artificial machine, something. I don't remember it by heart, but I got it written down. And yeah, she could definitely fit that description. So you're not too far off. There's going to be a character close to that for sure. Awesome villain name. Yeah, I don't know if I want dominatrix in the name of the book. That's going to be targeted at youngsters too. But she'll still look like one, I guess. Won't be too far from that idea, that's for sure. As I was saying in the opening as well, I think I figured out a way to be able to pipe a playlist through the same channel as the microphone in StreamYards, doing a back-end thing with audio MIDI controller in Mac. Didn't feel like I wanted to jump on the stream today without too much friction, but I started researching it a little bit, and if I can get the technical solution done, I'll be able to maybe have it for the next stream. It would be kind of cool. Could play some different music, because I'm not complaining. These are good background sounds, but having a real playlist, whether it's music from our music collection, or I've got some songs that I've been fiddling with off of Suno. I got a kick-ass Rattel theme that's been in the works. All right, let me switch it up here. Let's try some Fallout. That's always a good one. Yeah, I got some kick-ass songs that I'll be able to throw in the mix. I think that's going to be a little bit more entertaining to listen to, both for you and for me. Just got to keep yourself good music, man. It'll give you the emotion you want for a scene, for a pinup, for a sketch. It's almost part of the raw material you're working with, right? Because this is, at some point, you're putting emotion into a work. I think that's why people get so pissed when people don't like their art. It's because there's so much of themselves in it. I mean, you got to learn how to manage your emotions, obviously. Now, there's a line here where, bleed line. I want to make sure that it doesn't cut off too close to especially not the faceplate of the drone. It's a bit messy, but we'll come back to it. We'll come back to it in a minute. Rattel Batman team up. Move over Absolute Batman. I guess I guess I gotta do something like that at some point, at least for a pinup for fun. I mean, Todd McFarlane was able to get the rights for a Spawn Batman crossover. That would be kick-ass. And the way things are going with those companies, it wouldn't be too surprised. Cause, dude, Batman's gonna be public domain in a couple of years. Like, obviously, there's gonna be limitations to it, right? It's got to be the old 1930s Batman, and doesn't mean you get to use the logo or the trademark. But who cares? You're still going to be within constraints, be able to have Batman in a story. So definitely be able to do, like, at the very least, pinups. Or at most, maybe bring him in. Something's not right about this head. It's not too off, but it's just something about it. So yeah, Apex, you're not too far from the mark. We'll have a Rattel Batman crossover at some point. To what extent, I don't know. But at the very least, a pinup is in the works. All right, gotta have his head turned a little bit, so he's looking in the direction that he's actually flying. Drawing's not going to feel right until the head feels right. How about a villain known as Karen, and she wields the power of HR? So this is a book for all ages, Wrangler. We don't want to frighten them. We don't want to scare them, although they are going through school, so they're probably been through those horrors already. But that sounds terrifying, Wrangler. You ready for God of Laundry? Yeah, I watched a little bit of the first part of State of Play on Asmongold's channel as he was commenting on it, and I was wondering what you didn't like about the Wolverine at the Wolverine game, because there's some cool things about it. Like, it's definitely violent to the point where you would want a Wolverine game to be, minus maybe some dismemberment would make a little bit more sense if you're going that gorish with it. But I can understand they got to draw, they got to decide what they're going to leave out at some point. But dude, that Jean Grey, she's so wrong. Jean Grey is, I was like, who's that? Dude, I actually had to ask myself if that was Jean Grey or Gambit, which is never a question you want to be asking yourself in an X-Men themed product, story, whatever. So she's bad. She's, and not in a Michael Jackson good way, she's terrifyingly mid in that game. Wolverine, I'm kind of half and half. Like, the white eyes could work, but they're a little bit dark. I'm not sure how well that works. It works in the comics when you got white eyes, because your mind kind of fills the blank and on how it's supposed to work. But when you see them all white, but with the shadows on top, it's a little bit strange. The velocity of the arms, the hair on the arms and all that is cool. A good level of detail. It feels like they got some things right, but damn, the characters are like that little green alien mutant thing that he's supposed to save doesn't feel like it should be in a universe with Wolverine, especially the violent, bloody Wolverine. There's an issue with tone in that trailer and probably with the game. Like there's a discrepancy. 1939 Batman and Raquel Woodrock, time traveling tale. Yeah, but I mean, you can take 1939 Batman and set him in current day, which current day is a slur now, but you know what I mean. You guys know what I mean. But yeah, it would be cool. State of Play was bad. I didn't watch all the way through. Yeah, but they're never that good, are they? But dude, I was so freaking relieved about the James Bond game. Oh my god. I was worried that was gonna suck ass. And I love it. I freaking love it. It's so good. I enjoyed it all the way through. I beat it. Was it June 1st or June 2nd? I think it was June at 2 a.m. in the morning, so on the 31st, yeah, I think it was June 1st because it was on the 31st of May, 2 o'clock in the morning, which ended up being on June 1st, I think. Took me an insane amount of time. It took me 32 hours for a 20-hour game, and the first reviewers were beating it in 15 hours. I'm going to blame it on trying to shoot with the controller. It's not as ideal as shooting with a mouse. I'll explain why I'm saying it looks like shit in VC. Yeah, it sounds good, man. Yeah, these things are hard to elaborate on. Jean Grey Gambit amalgam character. Yeah, dude, it's her face. It's these damn sexually ambiguous characters. You're like, okay, for people who used to watch Saturday Night Live, it's Pat, right? You'll know what I mean. But it's got a lot to do with just generic Sony slop gameplay. It's just God of War 2018 camera and gameplay. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're much more of a gamer than I am, so I'm not all up on those fine details of the gameplay. But I'm gonna learn. I've been playing more. Hitman's my favorite game, which is why I naturally went for James Bond. Dupe, Green Alien from X Factor. Michael Allred wrote and drew it. Is that the one? You saw the State of Play Apex, the new Wolverine game trailer? And they're just blood, no yeah. It's just blood. But the blood looked like the way the blood was spraying was so much blood. Like I wonder if it's like over the top even, but hey, like as a kid we would have loved this. I would have loved this as a kid. Like holy shit. It's like they're giving you a real violent Wolverine, which is what the character is. But you're right. I mean, dismemberment would have, but how traumatizing would that be? Would that fit? But then again, they got the blood. They used to go crazy about blood when we were growing up. You know, like, oh no, you can't show blood. Even Mortal Kombat on friggin' Nintendo had no blood. You had to get a Genesis version and then enter the code to just get blood on Mortal Kombat. And it was just a splattering of red pixels. It's no big deal. Also, the Wolverine game is made by Insomniac. You know, the devs were critically woke. Yeah, dude, the Spider-Man 2. I got Spider-Man 1 because, especially coming to video games again, out of a 30-year hiatus, someone who's grown up playing video games but decided to put it aside to focus on work for a long time, looking forward to a Spider-Man game was like, oh, dude, a really good Spider-Man game. When I mean good, I mean, it's not 2D. You can swing around in the city. You have the whole city of New York that's rendered and everything's 3D. And it looked so good. And not shitting on the Spider-Man 1 remastered. It's got most of what you want is good. It's obviously got a little bit of woke in it, but still playable. It's got good fighting, kind of based on Batman Arkham Asylum style fighting, and it works. Costumes look good, the movement looks good, but it's in the writing, right? It always comes out in the writing. He's so beta for this freaking chick that works for the police office. You're like, dude, you're a freaking superhero. Why are you acting like a freaking weakling, beta male, when you're on top of the world, literally, like flying through the sky? It's like, I hate that there's such a discrepancy in a superpowered man like that. And just, yeah, bowing to women. But it's tolerable in the first one. But the second one, they do things that, like unskippable gay kiss scenes. You know they're shoving it down your throat. You know they had a meeting and decided, oh, we can't let the chuds skip this. They're gonna love gay stuff sooner or later. All right. Billy says, yeah, but we've already have Wolverine game with a load of blood and dismemberment. Yeah, you're talking about the Wolverine Origins game? I got that one to your recommendation, which is... Yeah, exactly. That one's kick-ass, dude. I mean, the blood doesn't flow at the same volume as the one, but I'm not going to complain. It still looks better. And when you get damage, your shirt gets torn up, and you see the ribs and the blood. That's freaking Wolverine, dude. That's freaking Wolverine. Kahuna is here. How you doing, man? Nice to see you this morning. I hope you're having a good day. I don't know why I prefer reading this way, but I've never been a huge fan of single-issue comics. I understand other people's appeal to a point, but I prefer single collected story. No, I get you, man. I get you. I mean, it's kind of like watching like a soap opera when you're watching monthly issues, right? So, and especially the writing style is going to reflect the way they're marketing it too, because you're going to be writing in a way that you have to have perpetual cliffhangers to bring your reader back every month, and that's going to start to feel forced at some point. Whereas, and we see it a whole lot more in the European market. They tend to write albums as a complete story, or at least a complete chapter, kind of like a movie. Like it feels much more like a completed story. So I get it, dude. I totally get it. Different styles. No room for woke. Hollywood is bankrupt because of that. Yeah. I'm seeing the opposite. Like, I'm seeing the anti-woke people going crazy. I've noticed it with James Bond. Like I was also afraid of it was going to be a woke game because of the red flags. You have an Indian M. You have a black supervisor in your MI6 training. You have a female spy. Well, that's okay. That's kind of very James Bondy. So I was on guard. You remember, Billy? I was like, I hope this one's not going to be woke. I picked it up regardless before it came out. I was like, okay, at least because it's James Bond, right? I'm like, and it's done by IO Interactive, which do the Hitman series. My favorite game is Hitman, so I'm like, they got to be doing something right. And I was listening to a lot of the interviews they were talking about. They were talking about the game, and so had some good and some bad. They said, well, we'll look into the books. We're doing bringing a lot of what makes James Bond, like adding the scar, which is from the books apparently. I've never read the books, but all right, that's cool. You're going through the source. And then they were saying other things like, well, this is a modern day James Bond, needs 2026, so he can't be like womanizing. Like, you're like, okay. that makes sense, but it sounds like what those leftist extremists say, right? It's like how they explain woke the first time in an interview. So like, are you just being like kind of rational about the world we're living in, or are you just warming us up for the fucking woke slop? And luckily, there's nothing woke about it. Even the, you want to call them race-swapped characters, are well done. And they don't overpower James Bond. They don't take his place. James is actually outsmarting his superiors, as you expect. We got Jason. Oh, dude, how's it been, man? Jason, what's up, my friend? I have to get back to editing a project, but dude, haven't seen you in like a decade, if not more. Yeah, nice to see you, man. I hope you're doing well. I hope the family's good and everything's working well on your end and your projects are coming the way you want. Stay in touch, man. Always good to see you. Kuna says, some shows really got you with the cliffhanger and left us drooling every week. I think for me, the worst and best, and it was Attack on Titan. Yet people keep mentioning that one. Yeah. Some of those final moments were unfreaking believable. Good. It has been a decade. Things are going well, man. Things are going really well. I've got a comic book that's out to the printers. My first, not my first comic I've drawn, but the first one I've written, drawn, inked. I didn't color it, but I took care of all that. So yeah, no, super happy where things are going right now. Don't know if I'm happy with the hand though. Something is, it's bland. It's just bland. It's okay, but do we really want to do an okay hand? Seriously? Is that the standard we're stooping down to now? An okay hand? It's not gonna fly. Apex says, please like, subscribe, share, and ring bell for notifications. Yeah, all that good YouTube stuff. And I've been streaming to Kick this morning. Started last night with on CG After Dark on Katie's stream. I've been restreaming her stream on YouTube because she got canceled by Liam. If you know, you know. If you don't know, where you're in a much more happier place than most of us. Basically, the story is he's been flagging channels because people have been criticizing him. And so she lost a lot of revenue because of her channel got taken down. It's relatively easy to take down a channel on YouTube in this day and age. And it worked, but it's backfiring because YouTubers don't like it when you resort to that. It's like snitching in prison, as Nerdrotic says. And you're hurting everybody because it incentivizes other people to do it. And then it becomes an avalanche of people taking down channels. And so instead of like in the spirit of the First Amendment, criticizing and talking about and debating ideas, it becomes a game of takedown, of complaints, and a lot of cases, false complaints, right? False flagging, which leads to people losing their jobs. A lot of people, it's an important revenue stream for them being on YouTube. And, you might say, well, no one, being a YouTuber is easy in that. And I'm not earning anything on YouTube, but dude, there's work that goes into this, a lot of preparation, a lot of time. And you should be able to retaliate with words instead of shutting down people's channels. Okay, this is a better hand. This is a little bit better. Now we're talking. I mean, McFarlane said it. Hands and faces is what is going to convey the emotion of your character, and he's so right. And so, small details like how the fingers are placed are actually revealing of the emotion that your character's experiencing, and the movement and all that. It needs a Dale Keown style hand. Dale is a master, dude. You gotta get up early in the morning to draw like Dale. I mean, I'm sure Dale doesn't get up early in the morning. The guy's a freaking rock star. But yeah, you gotta put in the hours. Dale loves this craft and has mastered it. And while I'm not trying to draw like Dale or another creator per se, yeah, always trying to push the envelope, always trying to raise the bar. With every new piece. Kahuna, it's too early for pervy fingers. You should know this. Did I get it right? I forget what you're talking about now. Did I get it right? What's the last thing you said? You haven't talked for... Oh, are you still talking about the Wolverine game? Because, yeah, that Wolverine game was spot on. Great, great game. I gotta go revisit that. I got it at a point where I got an avalanche of games. And so I was going from one to the other without finishing them. Now things have kind of calmed down, but I got to go back and play the backlog, which makes me feel and sound like a real gamer now. Got Acadian Comics. Hello, I just liked and subscribed to your channel. It's nice to see some draw streams. Well, thank you, Acadian Comics. Nice to see you. Yeah, welcome. And you got the Fleur de Lis in there. You speak French too? Bienvenue. Happy to see you, man. We have shows every Tuesday where we have guests and talk about their process. And I just started doing these morning streams now that I call Morning Ink. So hopefully we'll be seeing each other again. Right? Yeah, it's a little bit better. Like you can see the extension of the finger. You can understand where the tendon is and why it's like that because of the muscle, the way the arm is. Some people are going to scoff. Yeah, right. No, it's true. It's freaking true. It really does work like that. Well, someone deleted my... What? It's got to be... It's got to be YouTube. It's got to be... Dude, you're a freaking moderator. It's got to be YouTube doing self-deletion. Not self, but... automatic deleting. That is crazy. Let's see. Well, we're also streaming on Kick, so follow us there. Perhaps there's less censorship through that platform, but man, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? All right, let me get the board here. Get the shapes of the different propellers and their protectors, which there's nothing worse than having to draw 4 circles in perspective in every single panel that you draw. But you know what? You get better. You get freaking better at it. And at a point, it becomes secondhand. And that's the thing, like, yeah, the stuff that you hate to draw or hate to do, powering through it and doing it just makes you better. And at some point, you stop hating it when you get better at it. It doesn't hit you like a pet peeve anymore, and it's just a matter of fact part of the job. I think the deltoid is looking okay. I have another hand over here. This one's smaller. Got these. Open hand. Very similar to Spider-Man in that respect. Just keeping his balance like a surfer. Yeah. All right, I think the off, having put it in a diagonal position here, gives it some dynamism. Having the balance here, he looks like he's solid standing on this board. I think this works. This works for the most part. Good foundation. I'm going to come back and draw this character. See? Yeah, I think I'm going to keep this initial momentum and keep this negative space here around the character's head. And this is going to be a good spot to maybe put the Montreal Bridge, show the city in the background. And yeah, this is a pinup piece. It could be a cover. But to be honest, it's more drawing practice at this point, because the second book is not started production yet. I mean, technically I'm writing the script. I've got something from start to finish, but still want to tweak a lot of it. Billy, do you want to keep being a beta reader for Rattel number 2? Because if so, I might start keeping you in the loop with the script for the second book. Get your feedback and all that stuff. And it may be a Wrangler you'll want to get. You'll want to be a beta reader for number 2 after you read number 1. I didn't want you to be a beta reader because I want your review of the final book, which I'm looking forward to. I hope you'll do a review at some point. The bots are out in force. You think it's the automatic censoring of YouTube. As moderators, we should be allowed to delete the censor bots. Make it happy. Yeah. Nice circle ellipses on the glider, dude. You draw so many of them, you get good, or get decent at the very least. I can imagine Rattel versus Green Goblin fan comic. Well, yeah, it's very much the same energy. Well, except Green Goblin is a completely different position because he's like head on. His feet are on the wings, and he's got a central core. What do you call that? Burner engine. So he's got one engine on which 2 wings are resting, and his feet are locked in the wings, and so he's riding it almost like a rider on a horse, right? The position he's got. Knees bent and facing forward. And he'll rotate back, throwing bombs at Spider-Man. But Rattel is riding it like a skateboarder or a surfer. So it's closer, I think, to the Silver Surfer than it is to the Green Goblin in that respect. All right, folks, I think I'm about at the end of this morning stream here. Sheldon's coming in. Sure. Again, I'm not sure what you're talking about. It's hard to understand these one-word replies with out of context. Oh, yes, the beta reading. I'm the one who asked the question, of course. Awesome, dude. Awesome. Because you gave good feedback, so I appreciate that. Sheldon says, nice anatomy. I like the hands. Well, thank you. I didn't get the hands right on the first try. But that's okay. I totally favor erasing a lot in the first stage. Like, keep erasing until you get the shapes you want. Because when you're going to add the details, it's going to be way too late to be doing that. So get it right the first time around. And then you got a solid foundation. And then it's easier to have a good-looking comic, good-looking pinup piece of art. I just woke up. Me too, dude. I had to wake up early this morning to take out the trash before our Jack the Ripper was tearing up the trash bags here. So I can't put out the trash at night anymore. But that's okay, because I wanted to do this stream. Wanted to do it yesterday. Yesterday I got up a little bit too late. I'm going to try to do these semi-regularly. I'm definitely not promising to do this on a daily, because that's too much. But on a semi-regular basis in the morning, we'll be doing these morning ink streams. I'm working on an intro. Yeah. And I'll build it up nice and slow. So good to see you, Sheldon. I'm calling it a day for now. I'll be on Aaron C. Immortal Rising stream tonight. Cough, cough. Let me grab a sip of coffee. Yeah. So tonight, if Aaron's show is on, usually on Wednesdays at 7:15, 7:30. So catch me there if the show is happening tonight. If not, I'll see you on the Commandos on Saturday. And I'll be doing one of these morning ink streams. I'll definitely do it again tomorrow and maybe Friday. So tune in. It's been fun. Thanks for tuning in, guys. You make this a whole lot interesting. A whole lot more interesting to be able to banter with you back and forth. I hope you have a good day. Enjoy your day. Hope you have a beautiful day like we're having here for the first time this year in Quebec. But you Americans, you got better weather. Hopefully when we become a 51st state, we'll have better weather too. I know it's not how it works, but I got a comic book brain. That's kind of how it works. So there you go. Adam Weber signing out at the end. I salute you, sir. Have a good day, everybody. I'll catch you next time. Take care. I'm leaving you out with our favorite singer here, Sabrina Salerno. Good.
Boys.